Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. We are back, the live streams are back. I'm back from my holiday in the mountains of Corfu and we are back with the live stream. Done a little video about half an hour ago giving my game review to our final pre-season game against Preston. So if you haven't checked that out, please do so after this live stream. But we're here to talk about James Rodríguez. A lot has happened since I have been away and I covered little bits and bobs with little videos here and there. So a big thanks to everybody that supported those videos and that watched them and you know, dropped likes on them and comments, etc. But a lot has happened since we last spoke live on the streams. Everton have officially signed James Rodríguez and Abdoulaye Doucouré, all three players joining Everton officially. Obviously we beat Preston 2-0 in the final pre-season game ahead of Sunday's fixture against Tottenham Hotspur in the first Premier League game of the 2020-2021 season. So a lot has happened in the last week or so. A lot has happened. We've also been heavily linked with a move for Fikayo Tomori, young Chelsea centre-back on loan. But we're here to talk about James Rodríguez, possibly the biggest transfer in recent history of Everton Football Club. An absolutely massive transfer, both commercially and, you know, in regards to him as a player and his ability on the pitch as well. It was a lot of rumours last week. I think we spoke about him just before I went away on the live stream, just before I went away, but there's been a lot of rumours regarding James Rodríguez and the possibility of him coming to Everton Football Club. Even when Carlo Ancelotti joined the football club in December, there was strong rumours suggesting that we could go in for a move for James Rodríguez. I think Carlo Ancelotti even come out and spoke about it. He was asked a question about James Rodríguez and he said, this was months and months ago, and he said, listen, you know, I managed James at Real Madrid, I managed him at Bayern Munich, but he, you know, when I went to Napoli, he come to me as a rumour, and now he's coming to me as a rumour at Everton Football Club as well. And it sort of went quiet for a couple of months then, and obviously Everton played the remaining 9 games of the season, and then the rumours started to pick themselves up a little bit, and within the last week and a half or so, they really started to pick up, and James Rodríguez is officially an Everton player. And I can't quite believe I'm saying that. I can't quite believe those words are coming out of my mouth, that James Rodríguez is officially an Everton player. It's a massive transfer for the football club. It's a massive transfer, like I said, commercially and in regards to him as a player and his ability on the pitch. You know, we've seen it on Monday night when the transfer was officially announced by Everton Football Club. You know, there was a little bit of worry on Sunday, night and Saturday afternoon about, you know, the delays in the transfer, and, you know, there's a couple of journalists that were saying there's been a little bit of a delay in regards to Real Madrid and what they're wanting for the player and the agent fees, etc. And there was a little bit of worry amongst Evertonians that this deal wouldn't actually go through, and that it was, you know, it was just going to be another one of those that we see fade away and you know, fade into non-existence, but it didn't. It was officially confirmed by Everton Football Club, and James Rodríguez is an Everton player. He'll wear number 19 for the foreseeable future. He signed a 2-year contract with an option for the third, which I think is a really good contract for the player. It allows Everton obviously to monitor him over the next 2 years, and I believe the option for the third year is agreed by James, by Everton and by his agent, so it's a mutual agreement. So I think it's a really good deal. BBC Sport reported today that the official transfer fee was only £12 million for James Rodríguez, despite various other reports saying that it was a little bit more. Some reports saying that it was, you know, £25 million, but BBC Sport have stated this morning that it was only actually £12 million. And since then, I don't know how reliable this next bit of information is, but since then, Transfer Market, who are the sources for a lot of information regarding pretty much every footballer on the planet, they have put an article out about 20 minutes ago actually, stating that there was no transfer fee for James Rodríguez and he signed on a free contract to Everton. However, Real Madrid have got a clause in there that they will receive a certain percentage of his sell-on clause if he eventually does leave Everton Football Club. So who knows whether it be £12 million, whether it be a free. One thing is for certain, we've had an absolute steal with James Rodríguez joining Everton Football Club, and he will bring an awful lot. We'll go on to his commercial numbers and stuff like that and what it means commercially to the football club. But I also want to talk about his stats and how important he is coming in as a player and the impact that he's going to have as a player on the football club, because a lot's been made of the commercial side of things. You know, his worldwide following and how brilliant it's going to be marketing-wise for the football club. And, you know, a lot has been made from Evertonians in regards to his stats, but there's a lot of football fans around the world that for some mad reason, still seem to think that James Rodríguez only really ever had a decent World Cup and a decent 2014, and that was it. He hasn't had a good season since, which is absolute bollocks. He's had fantastic seasons since. He played fantastically under Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid when he signed for them. He played really, really well at Bayern Munich under Carlo Ancelotti. In 2018, and he James Rodríguez has come out as a player himself and spoke about how important Carlo Ancelotti is to his career, and it's his favourite manager to play under as well. So again, massive signing for Everton Football Club. Really, really excited by this one. Obviously, we'll speak about Abdoulaye Doucouré a little bit later. We'll be live at 5 p.m. as well, doing a live stream talking about Abdoulaye Doucouré. But this is the transfer that I think got a lot of people the most excited. Don't get me wrong, in terms of on the pitch and impact that these players are going to have on the pitch, Alan will have a massive impact on Everton Football Club. He's exactly what we need. He's exactly what we've needed for years. A little bit of tenacity in the midfield. Somebody that's not afraid to throw the foot in. Somebody that's good on the ball. Abdoulaye Doucouré as well. Big, strong, physical midfielder. Chips in with goals. Really, really good on the ball. Good passer to the ball as well. Strong, powerful in midfield. James Rodríguez, technically, all three players that we've signed over the last 3 or 4 days technically will massively improve Everton Football Club. But I feel like the James deal is the one that is sort of epitomised, them all because of that marketing side of things and because of how big this transfer is for the football club practically. So just to throw some numbers at you in terms of marketing, like I said, we will go on to talk about his stats and his ability on the pitch and how he is going to improve Everton on the pitch. But you can't skip over how big this deal is commercially for Everton Football Club and how massive this deal was. James Rodríguez, 46.1 million followers on Instagram alone. I think he is the 6th most followed athlete on the planet, most followed athlete in Colombia. A lot of Colombian fans saying he's like their sort of equivalent to their David Beckham in regards to how big and how famous he is. Over in Colombia. You only had to look at social media on Monday night when he was officially announced as an Everton player. The amount of Colombian football fans I saw on Twitter, on Instagram, all over the place saying, I am new fan of Everton. I have followed James Rodríguez. Colombia is now blue. This, that, the other. There was loads and loads and loads of fans that you could tell are now going to invest their time into Everton Football Club because of the signing of James Rodríguez. We've seen, of course, on Monday night through to Tuesday, billboards in Times Square, New York City, one of the biggest sort of advertising places on the planet. You think about advertisements and billboards and all of that sort of stuff. You think about Times Square, you think about New York, you think about how many millions and millions of people are going to see those billboards that are produced, that are sort of put out there in New York City. And in peak time, around about 4 or 5 o'clock last night, there was a massive billboard, a couple of billboards actually, screens lit up with James Rodríguez's face on. Everton Football Club, number 19 in Times Square, New York City, which was absolutely unbelievable. Earlier on in the day, morning time, there was a boat travelling across Miami that had James Rodríguez's face on and went all across the Miami sort of sea line and all across the coast of Miami, which is absolutely fantastic. We've seen the building, big massive skyscraper in the Colombian capital, lit up with Everton blue and number 19 James Rodríguez. That was on Monday night as well. So this transfer has already hit the global stage. Obviously we've seen all around Liverpool as well, on the docks, Goodison Park, the live buildings everywhere across the city. There was projections of James Rodríguez's face and his announcement that he has signed for Everton Football Club. But like I said, Everton really utilised their time well with the James Rodríguez situation. We knew that there was some issues over the last few days or so. Obviously, he was announced on Monday over the weekend, in which we would have originally thought he would have been announced. There seemed to be a couple of issues with his agent and with fees and with confirming it with Real Madrid, etc. And Everton could have flapped at that point and just sort of not done anything and not created anything and just tried to figure out on that, and then sort of just put a picture up of him in an Everton shirt and said James Rodríguez signed for Everton Football Club. But they didn't. They knew that those issues were out of the club's control. They knew that those issues were to be fixed by Real Madrid and Jorge Mendes, who's James Rodríguez's agent, and the player himself. So Everton utilised their time by ensuring that there was going to be projections of the player's face all across the city, ensuring that there was going to be a barge going across the coast of Miami with his face on, ensuring that there was going to be billboards in Times Square, ensuring that one of the biggest skyscrapers in the Colombian capital was going to be lit up Everton Football Club colours. This transfer has gone global, and it's about time that Everton Football Club started marketing players in this way. It's about time we started showing New York City, who half the population probably aren't even interested in football because it's not a massive sport over there, let alone interested in Everton Football Club, but they'll have been walking to work. There'll have been people walking to the shops. I've been in Times Square. There's every restaurant, there's every shop, there's everything there. The police stations there. There'll have been police officers going to their place of work, looking up and seeing James Rodríguez and Everton Football Club plastered all across the billboards in New York City Times Square. It is absolutely fantastic, and like I said, how Everton have marketed this transfer has been perfect. It's been absolutely perfect. And we had to do this. We had to make the most of signing such a superstar, because James Rodríguez is a global superstar. He is a global icon in sport, and he really, really is. And again, like I said, it's not just about that for us as fans. Obviously, listen, he's got nearly 50 million Instagram followers. You know, no matter about the likes, about the marketing, about the billboards, about the fantastic scenes in Times Square and in the city of Miami and in Liverpool and all of that. All of that is to an Everton fan pretty much irrelevant if he doesn't stand on the pitch and perform, and if he doesn't play to the best of his ability, and if he doesn't improve this team. And he will improve this team, and we've got the stats that we'll go over in just a moment to back that up, that he will improve this team. But it was absolutely necessary that Everton marketed this transfer perfectly, that Everton put it out there, that there was billboards all across America, that Colombia was lit up blue, that Liverpool as a city was lit up with James Rodríguez and Everton's face, because it's a massive, massive, massive transfer. Again, a couple of more numbers marketing wise. 2.4 million likes on James Rodríguez's Instagram post introducing him to Everton Football Club. He put up a post with a couple of pictures of him in the Everton shirt and talking about how excited he is for his future at the football club. That has currently got 2.4 million likes. It had 500,000 likes in the first 30 minutes of him putting that post up, which is absolutely massive. He is a global superstar, like I mentioned, the 6th most followed athlete on the planet, I believe. He has got more followers than the entirety of most Premier League football clubs, including the current champions. He has got more followers than Tiger Woods, more followers than Wayne Rooney. He is massive. He is absolutely gargantuan in regards to his name and his brand in the sport of football, and he now plays for Everton Football Club. And like I said, it was absolutely imperative that Everton used that brand and that Everton marketed this transfer perfectly, and we did. We absolutely did. It's been really, really heartwarming and really, really emotional to see Everton Football Club plastered all over New York City. It's been absolutely amazing to see Everton Football Club plastered all over Miami, all over Colombia. It's been amazing to see loads of Colombian football fans who probably weren't even aware, they would have been aware of Everton because of Yerry Mina, but, probably didn't know much about Everton previously, now saying, I want to be a new fan of Everton Football Club. I'm going to support Everton Football Club because James Rodríguez, who is the biggest star in Colombia, has signed for your football club. We put out the tweet on Monday announcing him, and there was a Colombian fan saying it doesn't get much bigger than this. He is the biggest athlete to ever come out of Colombia. It's massive. It's a massive, massive transfer for Everton Football Club commercially and in terms of the marketing, and it is fantastic that we've managed to bring him in. Not only that, like I said, that is important. It is important because obviously it brings in fans, it brings in eyes, it brings in money, it brings in attention, it brings in the audiences, but probably more important, I'd say, is how he performs on the pitch and how he improves Everton Football Club. Listen, it's great bringing a player in that has got hundreds of thousands and millions of eyes upon him and millions of fans that are following his career path. It's absolutely fantastic doing that, but if that player doesn't get his head down and work hard on the pitch and improve the team on the pitch, then as an Everton fan watching week in, week out, we'll soon forget about those numbers and those likes and those billboards if James Rodríguez isn't putting 110% in week out, and he will be putting 110% in. He has spoke previously, he spoke when he signed for Everton Football Club on Monday night about the impact of Carlo Ancelotti, about how excited he is to play under Carlo Ancelotti again. His 3rd time playing under Carlo, played under him at Real Madrid, played under him at Bayern Munich. He said that Carlo Ancelotti is his favourite manager, the best manager he has ever worked under, and that is for me probably the one thing that I was most excited about. Listen, it's amazing to see the billboards, it's amazing to see his face, plastered all around the world. It's amazing to see Everton Football Club all around the world. It's about time we went global with this football club, and it wasn't just a local, We weren't just a local sort of, oh, we're well known in L4. It was about time that we went global. It's about time that people in America, Colombia, New York, wherever you are in the world, it's about time that you know Everton Football Club. But like I said, not only that, one thing that really, really got me excited about this transfer is how keen he is to play for Everton Football Club, how keen he is to play for Carlo Ancelotti, how hard he wants to work at this football club. James Rodríguez technically is still one of the best footballers on the planet. I do not care what anybody says. He technically is still one of the best football players on the planet. Yes, he's had a couple of injuries over the recent seasons and he hasn't had the best time. Certainly not recently at Real Madrid. But that doesn't mean that's detriment to him not being a good footballer or him not playing well. We know Real Madrid are notoriously a difficult club to play under. If you fall out, if you're a football player and you fall out with a hierarchy at Real Madrid, whether it be the manager, whether it be the owners, no matter how good you are, no matter how impactful you can be on the team, out of spite, they will not play you. They will put you on the bench. They will loan you out. They will put you in the reserves. They will not play you purely out of spite, no matter how impressive you are, no matter how much you could improve their team. They would rather struggle than play players that they've had fallen out with. That's just how Real Madrid work. That's how they are. We've seen it numerous times over the previous seasons and previous years with numerous players. But like I said, the one thing that got me really, really excited was James Rodríguez's, his intent to play for the football club and his want to play for the football club. And you can see that in his interviews, you can see that in his messages, you can see that in his excitement to join the football club, as he really, really wants to work hard. We've seen a training video of him and Alan in training yesterday, and already, I know it was only a 1 minute 30-second clip of them both training, but already, he's asking for the ball. His passing looked really, really good. He scored a lob over young goalkeeper Harry Tyra, who again had a fantastic game last Saturday, but he scored a really, really nice lob. He's scoring bicycle kicks. He's showing that technically he is still a very, very good footballer. And like I said, James Rodríguez has had his best seasons under Carlo Ancelotti. For Real Madrid, then his stats for Real Madrid: played 125 games, scored 37 goals and got 42 assists, winning 9 major trophies. That's one thing that James Rodríguez really, really zoned in and focused on when he was talking about Everton Football Club in his first interview. He spoke about how he knows how to win trophies. He has been there, he's won the trophies, and he wants to get Everton Football Club to that level. He spoke about how him and Carlo Ancelotti want to be able to take Everton Football Club to that next level. And I really, really liked him saying, listen, I've been there, I know how to win trophies, I've done it. 9 major honours at Real Madrid in the few seasons that he's been there, 37 goals, 42 assists. Here's an interesting stat for you. James Rodríguez is one of 3 midfielders with 50 plus goals, 54 goals, and 50 plus assists, 52 assists in Europe's top 5 leagues since the start of the 2013-14 season. So everybody that's sitting there at home, every non-Everton fan, everybody that's sitting there saying, oh, he hasn't had a he had a decent World Cup, but since then he hasn't had a good season. He was fantastic under Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. He was brilliant under Carlo Ancelotti at Bayern Munich. And like I said, 54 goals and 52 assists. One of only 3 midfielders to accomplish that in Europe's top 5 leagues since the 2013-14 season. Under Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid, 32 games, 14 goals and 14 assists. Now those numbers will improve Everton dramatically. When you put that in comparison to our current midfield, Gylfi Sigurdsson scored 2 or 3 goals last season. Fabian Delph, I don't think he scored. I think Tom Davies got 1 goal last season. Jean-Philippe Gbamin hardly played. Even the wingers, Bernard 4 goals, Alex Iwobi 2 goals. It is drastically better than anything we have currently got at this football club. Is it 100 goals and 100 assists in a season? No, but it's 2-3 times more than what our current, midfielders and our current players are able to achieve, which ultimately says that if he can get back to that level of form, which, why would he not be able to get back to that level of form? He was at that level playing under Carlo Ancelotti. He's spoken about how his best years as a footballer were under Carlo Ancelotti. He's now playing under Carlo Ancelotti again for the 3rd time in the Premier League. Like I said, we've seen it in the training videos. He still looks very, very sharp, scoring overhead kicks, very technically good goal chips. he drastically improves Everton with those stats alone. I think there was a stat last season which again wasn't his best season, don't get me wrong, he struggled. Listen, he was playing at a club that, you know, he didn't get many opportunities at, he struggled with injury. I think there was a stat that said that he started 6 games, I believe, last season for Real Madrid, and in 3 of those 6 games he created 5 or more opportunities, and not one Everton player created 5 or more opportunities in a single game last season. So even in a season where, you know, he hasn't had a lot of consistency, he struggled with injuries, he's been in and out the team, he hasn't played an awful lot, only 6 starts, he still showed in half of those starts that he can perform better than anything that we've currently got. He is a fantastic footballer, and again, if there's one thing that we should be most excited about, it's that, not just with Hammers, but with Allen, with Abdoulaye Doucouré, all of the players that we've signed so far, all of the players that we've been linked with previously, they all seem to have one thing in common, and that is that they desperately want to play for Carlo Ancelotti. One thing that Alan has in common is that he was trust Carlo Ancelotti. He really, really loved Carlo Ancelotti at Napoli. He said he was a brilliant manager and he worked really, really well with him. Same with James Rodríguez. James Rodríguez coming out and saying he's had his best seasons under Carlo Ancelotti and he's his favourite manager. If anybody can get the best out of James Rodríguez, it's Carlo Ancelotti. If anybody can get James Rodríguez to that level that he was at in the 2014 World Cup where he was unplayable, it's Carlo Ancelotti, and now he's joined Everton Football Club. On top of that, obviously the rumours this morning about how the transfer fee could be around £12 million. BBC Sports Transfer Market saying it was a free transfer and it was, you know, just the little the percentage, of the sell-on clause. If he was to leave Everton Football Club, will go to Real Madrid. It's a massive, massive transfer for Everton Football Club, and he is going to bring so much to the table. He really, really is. If you're enjoying the live stream, by the way, so far, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We'll dive into the live comments in just a second. Like I said, this is only one of 2 live streams today. We will be live at 5 p.m. later on this afternoon. We're going to be talking about Abdoulaye Doucouré. We're going to be talking about what he brings to Everton Football Club and how he improves Everton Football Club, of course. Let's get into the live comments then. Sportbot says, hey Cam, how's your day been on holiday with your girlfriend? It was great, mate. It was absolutely great. Really, really nice break. But obviously we're back in the swing of things now. Sportbot also says Liverpool said Everton aren't. Liverpool Echo said that Everton aren't spending anymore. Does that mean we aren't getting a new goalkeeper? Well, you know, it's mad because the Liverpool Echo put out a statement today, or an article today rather, saying how Everton are done with spending now. After bringing in Allen, after bringing in Rodríguez, and after bringing in Abdoulaye Doucouré, Everton are finished with spending now and we'll only look to target loans. And that was, you know, that made a little bit of sense because we'd spent 60, 70 odd million pounds on central midfielders. But then obviously the news come out that we'd only spent £12 million on James Rodríguez, and now it might even be it was a free transfer. So we don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Jason says, I've been an Everton fan for 40 years. I feel so hopeful. Even bought myself a shirt for the first time in years. Spot on, mate. There you go. And I think that's one big thing that this transfer brings, especially, is hope to the football club. Let's not get it twisted. James Rodríguez is the biggest signing that Everton have made in my lifetime, probably, in regards to the name and him as a player and the pull that he brings to Everton Football Club. In fact, Carlo Ancelotti is the biggest signing that Everton have made in my lifetime, but in regards to playing staff and players on the pitch, it's James Rodríguez. And like I said, you know, there's a difference with this signing. We've seen teams bring in, you know, big name players before. We've seen Everton done it. We brought in Samuel Eto'o, who was a big name player. We've seen various sides. LA Galaxy done it with David Beckham. Loads of sides bring in these top class players that are really at the end of their career, but they're coming in for the commercial reasons and the marketing reasons and the massive name, and that's fair enough. And when we brought Samuel Eto'o in, we were all aware that, okay, you might get a couple of decent games out of him. He might perform well against Burnley, he might perform well against Southampton, he might come off the bench and have a couple of decent games, he might play well in the Carabao Cup game, but you're not going to get 38 games out of him. You're not going to be able to start him. He's towards the back end of his career. James Rodríguez isn't towards the back end of his career. He is very much still in that area where he could still hit his prime. He could still hit the best season he's had in his footballing career at this age. And like I said, that's the difference. Is he's not only a massive player to bring in commercially and, you know, who is going to improve Everton on a global scale in terms of getting the name out of there, but he's also somebody that improves us. He's not just a name that you think, right, okay, he's a massive name, but let's be honest, he's not going to play week in, week out. He's not going to, you know, he's not going to do much in the team. It's not like that at all. He is a player that has got the capability of being our best player still and improving us massively even putting aside all of the commercial sort of stuff. So it is a massive transfer for the football club. Jason says 12 million, cheap as chips. It certainly is. Adjuti says, cheers mate from Morocco, Everton sarcasm here. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. Really appreciate it. If you're enjoying the live stream, by the way, so far, please do hit the like button. It does only take a second. Let's share the live stream, get as many people involved as possible. If you could share it on social media, it would mean a massive amount to me. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Only does take a second. Dosbig says, a bit off topic, sorry, but do we know anything of the extent of Holgate's injury? Not so far, mate, not so far, unfortunately. The fact that Everton are looking at potentially bringing in Tomori on a loan deal, for me, doesn't mean the best for Mason Holgate, but we don't know the extent yet, so I don't want to sit here and guess it. Dosbig says, welcome back home, Cam. Hope you had a belter of a holiday. It was fantastic. Thank you very much, mate. Sportbot says, do you think Sigurdsson and Rodríguez can work together? Well, we'll have to see, won't we? It'd be really interesting to see where all three signings fit in to Everton Football Club, because of course Everton have signed 3 midfield players in the space of 4 or 5 days, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Allen and James Rodríguez, and it'll be really interesting to see where those players fit in, because obviously previously under Carlo Ancelotti, Everton have played with a 4-4-2 formation, which only allows for 2 central midfielders, and I've seen a couple of people saying, well, that could work. You could have Allen and Doucouré in the centre with James on the right or the left, and James playing on the wide position, and there's been talk about us potentially going back to a formation which would allow a number 10 and James Rodríguez playing in that number 10 position, but then where would Gylfi Sigurdsson fit? I don't know, but listen, it's going to be really interesting. We've got loads of content coming on the channel over the next couple of days and weeks or so. We're going to do the season preview tomorrow. I was originally going to do it today, but because we've had the video out today and we've got 2 live streams, we're going to do it tomorrow, so it breaks it up a little bit, and we'll talk about the potential of new formations and where these new players could fit in at the football club. Obviously, we'll have the live game preview to our opening Premier League game of the season against Spurs. That'll be on Friday at 5:15 PM, so we'll talk a little bit more about it then. But it's going to be really interesting. And this is alright, I'm glad you're back. I've missed the live streams. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate it. Reese says, afternoon, everyone. Afternoon, Reese. Jason says, Real Madrid are a nut job of a football club. They're very difficult to deal with. So, it just shows how fantastic this transfer is. James says, hi, Cam. Can't wait for the season now. Midfield is strong. It certainly is. Jason says, Samuel Eto'o was past it by the time we got him. Certainly was. James says, James still has a lot to offer. He certainly does. Dosbig says, I'm eating my lunch with my Everton fork. Is right, mate. And Wayne says, hi, Cam, thought they'd kidnapped you. Good to have you back. Should get some more Colombian followers. Hope so, mate. Hope so. And like I said earlier on the live stream, the amount of Colombian football fans that are seen on social media, the amount of football fans that... James Rodríguez is one of those names where fans follow. There is football fans on this planet that follow players. Cristiano Ronaldo has fans that will follow him as a player. They won't necessarily follow a team. They won't necessarily support Juventus. They won't necessarily support Real Madrid. They will support Cristiano Ronaldo, and wherever he goes, they'll buy the shirts, they'll watch the games, they'll get involved, they'll have an opinion, they'll follow that team. And James Rodríguez is one of those players, and there's not many in world football. Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, Wayne Rooney probably one, but there's not many players in world football where they have a fan base that will follow them as a player rather than follow the club that they are playing for, if you get me. James Rodríguez is one of those players, so Everton are bound to bring in thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of more fans off the back of the signing of James Rodríguez, and it's now up to Everton to make sure that those fans stay and that those fans don't go in 4 or 5 years of James leaves, right, okay, I'm not supporting Everton anymore, I'm going to support wherever he's going, that those fans sort of fall in love with the football club and think, no, I'm an Evertonian now, I'm an Everton fan. And, like I said, we've spoke about how big it is. It's a massive transfer for the football club. Sportbot says, Ellis Sims and both strikers will be chewing their mouth. Wayne says, Archie RKO, can you give the Young Blue channel a sub? Appreciate. Yeah, I'll drop him a sub after it. Go and follow Archie RKO. As well. Timothy says opinions on Lozano, links to him today. I'd like him. I think he's a good player. Another player who obviously has played under Carlo Ancelotti before. Another player with connections to Marcel Brands as well from his time in the Netherlands. Again, I'd like him. I think he's a good player. I think he improves Everton. I'm not too sure whether we'd go in for him because I think Napoli had won quite a considerable fee for him, and I don't think we're in a position now to spend that money, obviously, after bringing in the Allen, Abdoulaye Doucouré and James Rodríguez, but I like him as a player. Wayne says, James Rodríguez is bigger than Man United. He certainly is. And Ellis says, do you think Max Allen and Donnarumma and Tomori on loan will be fantastic? I do think it'd be fantastic. I don't think it'll happen, but I do think it will be absolutely fantastic if we could bring those 3 players in. yeah, like I said, anyway, back onto the live stream. Listen, this is probably the biggest transfer in my lifetime for an Everton player in terms of his global pull and, you know, the superstar that James Rodríguez is. It's fantastic, but also in terms of his ability on the pitch. Don't get it twisted. He massively improves Everton Football Club. He does. His stats, even in the seasons where he hasn't had the greatest of times, even in the seasons where he spent some time injured, even in the seasons where he struggled to get any consistency, he struggled to get any real game time, he is still showing better stats than any of our current midfield did last season or the season prior. It's a fantastic signing for the football club. If anybody can get the best out of James Rodríguez, it's Carlo Ancelotti, and I absolutely cannot wait to see him perform. I cannot wait to see him in an Everton shirt. I cannot wait to see him, hopefully, against Tottenham on Sunday. It's a massive, massive deal for the football club, and he is a massive, massive player, and he's going to bring so much. Mitchell says, Cam, have you come back paler from Greece, or is it the light? That's probably the light, mate, but to be honest, I haven't really tanned either, so there's an argument there that I have come back paler, but that'll be the light on the stream, so don't worry too much about that one. Anyway, listen, I think we're going to finish it up there. What a signing for Everton Football Club globally, in terms of the pull, in terms of obviously the billboards in New York, Times Square, in Miami, in Colombia, all across Liverpool, everywhere across the world. This signing seems to have been projected, trending worldwide on Twitter. I think Everton were 8 out of 10 trends in Colombia on Monday night. We're still trending on if I go on my Twitter, number 1, I think Everton is still there. James Rodríguez is still there in regards to the trend. So listen, it's a massive signing for the football club, and a massive signing, and for the player as well. Listen, it's a massive opportunity for James Rodríguez as a player to really kickstart his career now under the manager that he has said himself is his favourite. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti, a lot of trust in the player, a lot of trust in Alan, a lot of trust in Abdoulaye Doucouré. We'll be talking about Abdoulaye Doucouré at about 5 PM, so don't forget to join us live for that one. But a fantastic signing. Really excited to see him in an Everton shirt. No doubt he improves Everton Football Club. He is that quality of player that we needed. We spoke 2-3 weeks ago, a couple of months ago, about how Everton need at least 2 centre midfielders. One that breaks the play up, shows a bit of physicality, isn't afraid to do the dirty work, gets in people's faces, throws a tackle in. Alan and Abdoulaye Doucouré as well sort of fits into that. And one with the creative spark, with the creative prowess, with that, with that ability to change a game, and that's James Rodríguez. And what a time to be an Evertonian. What a time to be an Evertonian. Sportbot says, which other sport do you watch except football? I don't, mate. I don't watch any other sports. Ella says, Everton are apparently preparing a new bid for Zaha. I don't really believe in that one, to be honest with you. Wayne says, I think we need one more striker, centre back, a wing back, right, that can cover both positions like Florenzi and a new keeper, but that we can get that all in this window without a huge clear out. Good point. Mitchell says James is the one, it's just keeping him fit. Spot on, mate, spot on. And Ananda says, how do you rate Brands now that we have had this kind of window? Our sentiments look class, but no wingers still. I rate Brands very highly, and I always have rated Brands very highly. Don't get me wrong, I understood the concerns, but Everton needed to improve our centre midfield as a matter of urgency before anything else, and Everton have done that. Yes, ideally we'd still bring in a winger and potentially a right back and maybe even a goalkeeper, but as a necessity we needed to improve the centre midfield, and we've done that massively in the last 3 days or so. And like I said, I think Brands has got a massive part to play in that, and as has Carlo Ancelotti. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's live stream, the first live stream of today. Like I said, we'll be back at 5 PM live talking about Abdoulaye Doucouré and the impact he will have on Everton Football Club. If you have enjoyed the live stream, please do hit that like button. It does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Share the video, share the live stream. Let's try and get as many people involved as possible. Really do appreciate all of the support on the videos whilst I was away. We're back now. Live streams are back, videos are back. Like I said, we'll have that season preview out tomorrow afternoon/night, so you'll be able to have a little look at that one. We'll have another live stream out 5 PM today. Loads of content coming before the game against Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. It means a massive amount to me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. Wayne said, good to see you back, mate. Have a good week, Blues. Thank you very much, Wayne. Really appreciate it. Big thanks to everybody for watching. Let us know your thoughts on the signing of James Rodríguez in the comment section down below. An absolute massive signing for Everton Football Club, and I cannot wait to see him playing in the Royal Blue. Big thanks for watching. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.